Yo guys, how's it going? We're here for another episode of One Club Hero on FIFA 18. Getting straight into today's episode with a game against Colchester. Hopefully get ourselves on our winning run and continue it even more than we have been, and a good goal scoring run of form as well. I believe there's only been 2 games so far this season in the league that we haven't actually scored in, being this like the actual games that I played, and one of them I got injured. So we've been playing very well, even though fair enough it is like an 81 rated player, I believe I am at this point in League 2. It's bound to be easier. But we're playing well, and that's the main thing. As you see, we come forward on the attack and we put the ball just wide of the post there with the first attempt to the game. We were doing really well up until this point to create chances, and we did well there to create that chance, but unluckily we didn't find the end product and it goes wide of the post. But we do come forward and another attack and really starting to put the pressure under Colchester. As you see, I play a brilliant ball through, and there it is. It's the first goal of the game with a brilliant finish there. It was a great pass through, and Green tucks it into the back of the net to make it 1-0. And at this point, we was absolutely dominating Colchester. There was hardly having a chance to even come out of their own half of the pitch. And when we was coming forward, we looked like scoring every time. As you see, he takes the defender out with a brilliant turn there, and pretty much takes the keeper out with the same turn and fires it into the far corner. There was no chance the keeper was getting to that one, and it ends up in the back of the net. It means we are now 1-0 up at this point, and we are on our way to actually securing the win in this game at this point, because we didn't look like losing it. But straight from kickoff, we steal the ball back straight away. We come forward to try and get ourselves a second goal. We play a brilliant ball through, but this time the keeper is equal to it. It was a great piece of play to steal the ball straight from kickoff and charge up the pitch. I thought I'd done enough to play a decent enough ball through, but the keeper made sure he wasn't going to set this one out for being 1-0. But straight from the kickoff of half time, we come forward and do the exact same thing again with interception, and we put the shot in, but it goes just wide of the post. And honestly, we should have done better with that finish there. My player just isn't good enough with his weak foot. He really needs to be. I need to get him better with his left foot, because that's the one thing that lets down his finishing, is his weak foot. I think if he gets that better, then he'll score a lot more goals. But again, we come forward on the attack. As you see now how many chances we were getting at this point. As they whip the ball in, we get the header off, but the defender jumps in front of the keeper and saves the ball from going in the back of the net. As they pick the ball up to try and get themselves on a counter attack right down that right hand side, they do some terrible passing. As you see, we take the ball back once again, and this time we get it brought down in the box. And honestly, this was our best performance of the season so far. Fair enough, we wasn't doing very well with our goal scoring or anything like that, but the all-round game of how well we was playing, it was unbelievable. As we step up to take the penalty, we hit the shot and it goes in the back of the net to make it 2-0 with a brilliant penalty. Sends the keeper the wrong way with a bit of a breakdance outside the box there, as you see, for our celebration. We put the ball in. It wasn't the best of penalties, to be honest, but the keeper dove the wrong way anyway, and it ends up in the back of the net, and it means we are now 2-0 up at this point, and fully deserving to be as well, because of how dominant we was being. And like I was saying, we was playing so well during this match. We should have had a lot more goals, but we didn't. But anyway, coming on to the next attack, we come forward again. We play a great piece of play once again. We get ourselves into some space, but we don't get found. They take a shot, but it goes wide of the post. Ollie Palmer, I don't think he should have took the chance there and shouldn't have really took the shot. Maybe should have held out a bit longer to see if something else formed, because that was a terrible shot. But we do find ourselves on another attack, and you can just see how dominant we was being throughout this game. As we break ourselves down the wing, we pass the ball inside, it gets passed inside again, but the keeper is equal to it at his near post. It was at his near post, and it turned out to be a pretty easy shot. He shouldn't have even been able to get that shot off. I don't know what the defender was doing there. He definitely should have been able to get his foot in there to make sure that the shot weren't even going on target. But the keeper made the save and turns it out for a corner, which actually comes to nothing. But here in the 90th minute, we come forward on our own attack. We pass the ball inside, it gets saved, and then it gets shot wide by Stewart with pretty much an open goal. Should have done better, but straight from the goalkeeper kick out, we win the header, but it goes straight back to the defender. We keep them absolutely grounded out there. As you see, Ollie Palmer wins the ball back, passes it in. We're in acres of space, and we hit the post. And it gets cleared away. And honestly, in a way, it was just like this chance was too easy. It was stupid how badly we did with that finish there. It should have been our second goal of the game. And honestly, I don't know how I missed. As you see, we had 10 shots in that game and only scored 1 goal. Our finishing wasn't good enough, I'll give you that. But it was easily our best performance for creating chances and winning the ball back and stuff like that. We played absolutely brilliantly that way. And as you see here from some of the stats, how well we played. We won the ball back so many times during this game. Even though you can't really see how well we was actually playing, but the winning the ball back and stuff like that throughout the game, we didn't even give away a pass in that game. Shows how well we played. We played 4 key passes throughout that game as well. We was creating so many chances, but not finishing them off. And we had, like I say, we had 10 chances, and a lot of them were clean cut chances and should have ended up in the back of the net, but didn't. And I'm really disappointed about that. But we won't focus on the negatives for that game because of how well everything else that we did in that game just overruled it. And we came away with the victory, which is the main thing. Before we go into our second game of today's episode here against Port Vale, hopefully they're trying to keep on that good of run of that game that we played in the last game. We was hoping to carry on that form in this one. Is how well we did play in that last game. We're hoping to carry that on in this game and maybe get ourselves a couple of goals instead of not finishing the chances we were creating them, but not finishing them. Hopefully in this game we were going to do both. As you see, we come forward on the first attack of the game. A few minutes into it, we try and get ourselves into the box, which we do exactly so. We take a pass, and this time again, it doesn't get past to me, and it ends up in the back of the net once again. And honestly, I'm so much more enjoying playing the game when the fact that the ball ain't coming to me and I ain't scoring every goal that the team is. And that is the main thing, which I'm really enjoying at the minute, is because the fact that AI is scoring so many more goals. Hopefully it'll keep carrying on like this through the season, because it's so much more enjoyable when the other players on the team are scoring goals just as much as you are. Because when it's just you, I don't know why, it just feels a bit boring in a way. But now it's starting to be that my teammates are starting to score goals. It's being so much more enjoyable, and that means we are 1-0 up at this point. Coming on, when we take another chance here, we're going forward with the ball, getting the into the box. With again, we're just not being that part of that play, and they're taking shots, and I'm really enjoying it. The fact that the team is taking so many more shots, and it ain't just me, as Rowe comes down the right hand side this time. Can't put the ball in the back of the net, but we are still 1-0 up at this point as they come forward on an attack down that right hand side, as they turn the brilliant turn there with a little scoop turn around the defender, but he can't find the back of the net, and the corner comes to nothing. But they start to string a couple of attacks together of their own here as they come forward. Tom Pope in the box takes a pass out wide, and that was just wide there. And that man there, Tong, I believe his name is, he was playing so well during this game. Like, he was like, I don't know if you watched one of my last episodes of our Paris career mode, but that, the way Balotelli played in that was the way he was playing, and he deserved a goal for how well he was playing. But we do come into the box in the 73rd minute. As we find our way into the box with open space, we take the shot and it ends up in the back of the net. It's a sort of half volley, and it's a great goal, to be honest. It's lucky that it fell to us, and I'm just happy that it did, for the fact that we grabbed ourselves a goal in this game and keeping our run of form of not scoring a goal throughout these games. As you see, it gets deflected from the first shot, lands at my feet luckily, bounces it just before it hits the foot and ends up flying into that top corner. There was no way the keeper was saving that. There was too much power on the shot for him to have any chance of doing so. And it ends up in the back of the net. And if you see, we've scored 21 goals so far this season, which is unbelievable. For the fact that I believe we're only like 21 games into the season as well, which is unreal. And hopefully we can keep that sort of goal scoring record on, unless we get some kind of big injury, which wouldn't be the best. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do get another injury before the end of the season. But they come forward on an attack of their own here, and again, Allsop is the man to stop the goal. He's been such a good player this season. I know I say it in literally nearly every episode, but honestly, he's been so good this season. I've loved him being in goal, and it's sort of kept us where we are in the league, because if it wasn't for him, then we would probably be nowhere to be found at this point. But they come forward on an attack with a lovely long ball. We try and get the ball clear. It only comes as far as their striker, but he hits the ball just wide of the post from outside the box. As we come into the 80th minute, we come into the last 10 minutes, shall I say, we come forward on the ball, we get into the box, and it is an easy finish. Honestly, it was very lucky to go in the back of the net. The keeper nearly saved it, and it would have made me look an absolute fool if that had gone and got saved. But it does mean we do get the goal, and it is our second goal of the game. The team's third goal overall. And even though the scoreline was so confident and so it was like it was an easy win, it really wasn't. For the scoreline, Port Vale deserved more out of the scoreline than what they had, because they played a lot better than what the scoreline actually shows. We just got very lucky with some of the finishes. Like I say, my first goal and second goal in a way was very lucky. But we do get the win out of this one. As you see, that is the end of the match. As you see, we win 3-0 with a great piece of goal scoring. Our goals were my goals in particular were very lucky. We only had 3 shots in this game, scored 2 goals, which is lucky for the fact that the first game we had 10 and only scored 1. That was a big improvement. But that is the end of today's episode, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and peace.